Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin in the United States. So today is my very first video blog hop with the Stamping Society design team. This is a team of 6 demonstrators, Stampin' Up! Demonstrators from all over the world. And when they invited me to be part of their online video tutorial bundle, I was over the moon excited. So we are going to be featuring the Tea Together and the Tea Time framelits. Now, this is in the Occasions mini catalog. The framelits were an offering that you got free with your $100 qualifying order during Celebration. Celebration ended in March, but I'm super excited to tell you that both of these items are carrying over to the annual catalog. You can still get this one from the Occasions catalog. The framelits, you'll have to wait until June when our new catalog goes live. So I have a really pretty card to share with you today. And then I'll also give you some details about the Stamping Society online video tutorial bundle and how you can get it. Let's flip this camera around and get started. Now, if you're new to me, you may not know what this is. This is a piercing mat. I sell these, and I've wrapped it in printer paper and taped it on the back so I don't stamp on it if I stamp off my layers. This is the surface that I like to stamp on. You'll find that your photopolymer or clear rubber stamps, especially the bigger ones, you need a little bit of cushion to stamp on, and I just find that all of my stamps work better on the piercing mat. The first thing I'm going to do here is tell you the dimensions of my cardstock. I'm using basic gray, 4 1/4 by 11, and I've already scored it at 5 1/2. And then I've got 2 pieces here of Whisper White. Both of these are 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of our beautiful powder pink. This layer is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8, and it is one of our in colors that's retiring. So if you don't have a pretty pink, I highly recommend this one. Then I've also got a scrap of white. Oops, I'm going to need a bigger scrap too. Yep, this one will work. So you need a couple scraps of Whisper White. This piece is 2 inches wide by about 5 inches long. And then another piece for your teacup. Another piece of basic gray. This is 1 inch by 3 7/8. And we're going to do all of our stamping here first. I'm bringing in basic gray ink and also our powder pink ink. The little leaf image in the Tea Together I thought was the perfect background for the basic gray layer. And this is just going to be a strip that runs across the front of my card. And notice how I turn my cardstock versus turning my stamp around to get that random pattern of leaves. Now, a different way may work better for you, but I just find that this works really nice for me. So then we've just got this background of leaves. We'll set that aside. Next, we're going to bring in our teacup and stamp that. And we're going to need to die cut that with the teacup die. Now remember, I said these dies won't be available until the new catalog comes out in June. And that reminds me, if you're in the United States and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be happy to earn your business. You can pop me an email and I can send you the new catalog when it comes in. Bringing in my die cutting machine here. And I'm going to die cut the teacup. Make sure I've got this lined up. You could also order the stamp set, and you can fussy cut these images and then order the dies when they're available. It's completely up to you. It depends on how quickly you need to have this stamp set, but it is really, really pretty. Okay, here's our teacup. I'm going to take that teacup and stamp the little greeting in it with powder pink ink. And it says, "Love is a warm cup of tea." I thought that was just kind of a neat little saying, right? Next, we're going to do our stamping on here, and I've got the rose. Whoops. And I just started my rose up in the left-hand corner and started filling it in randomly. And this rose just really kind of fits in its own nooks and crannies, which I like for making my own background paper. See how quickly this comes together. And I don't know, I got down to the bottom, which is where you usually are like, okay, now I don't have room for something. But everything just fit right into place. So I'm not actually overlapping anything, but you certainly could if you wanted to. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I just made my own background paper. Okay. The next thing we're going to do with this 2" by 5" layer of Whisper White is I'm going to bring in the delicate lace edgelets. These are beautiful, and especially for something very fancy. I just think that a tea set is kind of a fancy thing. So I grabbed this particular design, and I'm also going to run this through the Big Shot. I will be right back. Now, when I run it through right up here on the edge, and I center it from right to left. So I'll be right back. And here's our edgelet. I'm going to grab my Big Shot die brush here. And as long as you leave on the metal die, you can be rather aggressive with this brush. Now, if you pull the die off and then you try to brush out your little bits and pieces, you have to be a little more careful, right? But look at almost all of those pieces just fall right out of there. And I love, love, love dies that do that, and none of them get stuck in here, so you don't have to poke anything out either. Win-win on my book. Okay, we are going to take our pink layer and start adding these elements. So what I did here was I took my liquid glue and put it along that stitch line. Do you see that stitch line? I just think that's so charming. And then I added just a little bit of glue to some flowers, just randomly. I just wanted a little bit so they aren't sticking up and get caught on things. So just a couple of the little flower whirly deals there. I'm going to put this centered and about 1 inch from the bottom of my powder pink layer. Press that on. And then we're going to add the basic gray layer. We're going to leave some of that layer showing. We want that stitching showing for sure. Okay. Bring your paper snips in and trim this off from the back side, because you can use that pink edge as your guideline. And then, did you guys know that all of our shimmer ribbon is retiring? Yeah, I'm pretty sad. But I'm glad I have some. And we have black, powder pink, and Pool Party, I believe, is the other color. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of tape here and add this to the back. And then we can put this right on one of those Whisper White layers. Both layers are the same size. And this is just going to give that, the white just gives it a little pop of color. Only white isn't a color, right? But it does add a little pop to the card. And you'll see that when I get it onto the basic gray base. These are going on dimensionals. I should say these. This cup is going on a dimensional. On several dimensionals, not on a dimensional. There we go. Another little tip for you is to stick your fingernail in the middle of your dimensionals. That helps pop that edge up so that you can get them out or get that backing off a little easier. Now I'm just going to add my teacup right here. And then I want one more piece of ribbon to tie right over here. I'm just going to tie a single knot. Just like that. Then we'll trim that off kind of short. There we go. Now for our card front. Here we go. And what are we going to do with the inside? Well, isn't that cute? I love this. Super simple, easy layout. The inside, I decided I would just take that rose and add it right here to the bottom corner. I can use this for any occasion that I need it for, right? And I love having cards that I can either stamp a greeting, like a get well greeting, or I miss you greeting, or whatever, thank you greeting on the inside, or I can just write my message. So this is one of 2 cards that I made for the Stamping Society online video tutorial bundle for this month. Everybody's using the Tea Together bundle for their cards, and we have this blog hop going. So you're going to want to click up here to head over to my blog to hop along with us and see what everybody else made. But the really cool part about being a part of this design team is we also have a tutorial where everybody has contributed projects using this bundle. We have written instructions, we have pictures, and we have private video tutorials for each one of the projects. Not this one, but a different project. How do you get a hold of this tutorial? I'm so happy to be able to share this with you guys. So there's 3 different ways. The first way is if you're a member of my team, you're automatically going to get the tutorial from me. That's a big bonus. Number 2, if you place a minimum $25 order with me, you'll get the tutorial. And number 3, you can get the tutorial for $7 US. So there'll be a PayPal button on my blog where you can buy this tutorial from me if you aren't part of my team or you just don't want to place an order right now. Remember, all your orders are always appreciated. Head on over to my blog. You'll find an online ordering button and the current host code in a right-hand column. Now, this is my first time with the Stamping Society online video tutorial blog hop. I want you to make sure that you go down to the bottom of my blog post for this project and hop along with us and see what everybody else made. Make sure you ring that bell if you're watching on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. Click down here to subscribe to my blog. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. And once again, I want to thank everybody for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. Bye-bye.